Hello, my name is Vinny Gangitano, and this is my research project on stem cells. So, how do stem cells work? Stem cells basically work by being able to transform into either another tissue or multiple other tissues, depending on what type they are. They have no set properties, meaning some types can turn into anything, including plant cells or even meat cells, and they can adapt to other cells, meaning they become that new cell, and they also duplicate themselves. So you can essentially clone a human being by taking a stem cell from them and making it duplicate itself over and over to becoming more of that person's tissue. So, me personally, I think stem cells are pretty cool because they have all these abilities, and also they're not too hard to obtain. There's some controversy on that topic that I'll talk about a little later. So, what do stem cells do? They can do a variety of different things, including repairing damaged tissue by essentially becoming the new tissue, and the old damaged tissue will get replaced by the new stem cells that have turned into that new tissue. They can also grow tissue by, how I mentioned earlier, duplicating themselves. So you could essentially grow plants or meat or even humans from a lab, just from either one or two stem cells, which is pretty cool. They can also replace cancerous tissue the same way they repair damaged tissue by kicking that cancerous tissue out and essentially creating new tissues that are clean and normal. They can clone tissue, like I said, relating to growing tissue. They can treat diseases the same way they can replace cancerous tissue. And they can essentially become a human's super medicine because let's say you take a daily intake of stem cells, whatever is wrong with you, it will get kicked out, and the new stem cells will replace whatever's wrong with you, and it'll essentially make everything back to normal. However, this is still being tested, and there are no 100% confirmed treatments or even evidence that stem cells actually can work like this. So, this is just research and all hypothetical. Where do stem cells come from? So, there are three types of stem cells. The first one is embryonic, which comes from an embryo, like it says in the name, which is essentially a baby in the early stages of development, and they get these embryonic stem cells from either the umbilical cord or the baby itself. Of course, this is not an actual baby. Well, it is, but it's still a developing baby that is unwanted or unable to create. And if the mother doesn't want it, they can donate it to a good cause of embryonic stem cells. And the special thing about embryonic stem cells is that they're pluripotent, which means they can transform into any type of tissue. So if you put stem cells in a heart, they can become heart tissue. If you put stem cells in skin, they can become skin tissue. But those are only embryonic cells. Now, on the other hand, you have adult stem cells, which are found in every adult. And these are essentially the what heals us, you could say. So if we have some heart damage, there are some heart stem cells found in us. And but the bad thing, or not bad thing, they're still good, but the interesting thing is that they only can heal what they're assigned to. So if you have heart stem cells, they can only heal the heart or make heart tissue. Or if you have adult stem cells, they can only become skin tissue. But embryonic can become either heart or skin, no matter what it is originated from. And there's also a third type of stem cell, which is induced pluripotent stem cells. And this is where they take adult stem cells, they put them in the lab, and they put special chemicals and genes into them to make them essentially embryonic, to where normal adult stem cells can become pluripotent and they can become any tissue possible, which is pretty cool because you don't have to essentially harvest unborn babies. Now, are stem cells ethical? The big question we all know of. Of course, when you hear stem cells, we've all seen that one South Park episode where it talks about eating babies, but that is, of course, not the case because that is South Park. But really, stem cells, embryonic stem cells at least, come from babies, except they're unborn and unwanted. And it's either they become stem cells or they essentially just die in the mother. Both are, kind of scary and controversial, but I'd say donating your unwanted baby to science is slightly better than it just dying inside of you. But of course, that's a debate for another day. Now, stem cells also have many pros to them, including they can cure cancer, which is basically, the question medicine's been asking for who knows how long. It's like the big, oh, did you find a cure to cancer? No, well, no one has. But this is theoretical, so there's no living evidence that they can. It's all research and experimental. And then also, stem cells can become like embryonic stem cells, but not from babies. So this is kind of the answer to this question, which is because they can be transformed in a lab using these genes. I don't exactly know what they do, but they change the normal adult stem cells from regular adult stem cells only assigned to one tissue into a stem cell that can become like an embryonic stem cell and become multiple tissues. So instead of getting your stem cells from babies, you can not simply, but you can make your stem cells like embryonic stem cells, which is pretty cool. And yeah, thank you.